Hi, I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings, and today we're going to be talking to you about what you should be doing when planting up your flowering container combinations. If you've ever planted a beautiful pot in May and by July it just looks tired or stretched or it's just not thriving, chances are it's not the plants. It's probably the setup. So today I'm going to walk you through the must-do steps to create containers that look amazing all season long. In addition, I will be featuring a few of my favorite container combinations as well. For more tips like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel. So first things first, size matters, especially when you're looking at your containers. Choosing a container that is large enough for the plants you're using is really important. Bigger pots, they'll hold more moisture longer. They support stronger root systems and they require less consistent waterings. But the thing to remember there as well is don't oversize your pot for your plants because you do want to make sure that the plants you're putting in the pot will fill it out by the end of the season. And always make sure that when you are planting into containers that they have drainage holes. If they don't have drainage holes, that could lead to root rot and your plants dying and not performing well. We've got some great solutions as well with our aquapot inserts. These are from proven winners. And basically what these inserts do is you set them down in your pot and then they hold water for your plants to take up over about a 3 to 5 day window. So it saves you time so that you don't need to water as often. We do sell them here at gardencrossings.com. So if you're looking to maybe up your watering game a little bit and give yourself a little bit of a break from needing to water every day, these aquapot inserts are a great solution. It's also very important that when you are planting up your containers that you're using a high quality potting soil, not garden soil. And this is a big one. Never use garden soil in containers. So if you're digging it from the ground and putting it into your containers, that is not what you want to do. And the reason is because it compacts, it doesn't drain properly, and it suffocates the roots. Yes, it works for planting your plants in the ground into it, but it's not the same when planting into your containers. You want to make sure that you're using a light, fluffy potting mix that's designed specifically for containers. What that does is it helps with drainage, aeration, and also helps promote your roots to grow and your plants to be healthy. And do not use used potting soil as well. I know I have a lot of people that will say, well, I still have the soil in there from last year and I'm just going to reuse that. I don't recommend doing that. And part of the reason is because that soil, it has no nutrients left in it. There's nothing in there to help feed and support that plant. Also, too, there can be bugs in that soil or diseases in that soil. And the last thing you want to do is introduce your brand new plants, your brand new investment into soil that could be bad and could damage your plants. Using that proper potting soil is the foundation of what is going to get those plants established and rooted into your containers. Another important thing when you're planting up your containers is you do not want to forget the fertilizer or skip that part. Fertilizer is very important in making your containers flourish and look beautiful all season long. And the reason why is every time you are watering your plant, essentially you're flushing any nutrients out of that soil. So it's important that you replenish those nutrients at least once a week because plants, like people, need food to survive. So what do? When you are planting up your annuals, we recommend that you mix in a slow release fertilizer. Usually it's type of a granular form. We'll put pictures up to show you what we like to use and what we would recommend for you. So first when you're planting is you mix in that granular. Then, as I mentioned, you want to make sure that you're feeding your plants once a week. And for that, we recommend doing so with a water-soluble fertilizer. Now, we prefer to use the Proven Winner one, and the reason why is because the nitrogen that they use, it makes your greens greener, and it makes your flowers more flowerful. And sometimes a plant, if it starts to turn yellow, it's bound up. It can't absorb any nutrients. And the type of iron that is used in the Proven Winner fertilizer is designed such that even a bound up plant can easily absorb it and get greener and flowering within quick time. So plants like petunias, calibrachoa, and many of the other Proven Winners, and not only Proven Winner plants, but annuals in general, they bloom nonstop. but they do need to have that continuous feed to be able to do that and to be able to look fabulous all summer long. No feeding generally means maybe yellowing leaves, fewer blooms, and if you've noticed that your plants get really long, leggy, and kind of stringy looking, usually the reason for that is because they're not getting enough fertilizer. So fertilizer is a very important step. Another thing, this is kind of a little bit more of a controversial issue, is to do or not to do with loosening the roots before you're planting. So for us here at Garden Crossings, typically we don't sit there and rustle the roots. We just plant the plant right into the container. Now, a situation where you may want to do that is if your plant is very, very root bound, where you go to plant it and it's a tight root ball. Then you might want to go ahead and kind of rustle those roots a little bit and break them up. But for the most part, that does not need to be done in our opinion. Now, everyone's opinion is a little bit different on how to do that, or when to do it, or why to do it, or when not to do it. So take it with a grain of salt what I'm saying. But for us personally, we do not sit there and mess up with the roots before we plant our plants. Now, another thing is when you're planting, you want to plant them close. Now, this is for in your containers. Close, but not crowded. Now, Rod would disagree with me on that. He'd say, crowd them in. The more you can fit in, the better you are. It is if you're looking for some instant gratification and you want that pot to fill out really quickly. But I would recommend just planting close, but not crowded. So when planting containers, you actually want them a little closer than you would in the garden. You want them to look full and lush. Unless if you want to let your plant, take all summer to fill out, then you can plant them as, far apart as you want or are able to. But if you want to have a nice full looking basket by, let's say, 4th of July, we would recommend planting them fairly close. But don't cram them in so tightly that air can't flow and move around them, because it is important to have good airflow around your plants, because what that does is that does help prevent disease, and it also keeps plants just a little bit healthier. So when you're thinking of filling those pots, think full, don't think stuffed. Now, to another important thing, when you're putting your container combinations together, is you want to make sure that you're choosing the right plants for the right sun conditions. So it's not usually a good idea to mix full sun and full shade plants together. They have different sun requirements, right? So if you put those shady plants in full sun, they may burn. Or if you put those sunny plants in the shade, they may never flower. So make sure that all the plants in your container have similar light conditions. Full sun plants together and shade plants together. Mixing those sun and shade plants in the same container will almost always lead to disappointment. So it is important to read the tags if you're not super familiar with the plants that you purchased. Usually they do come with a plant tag, and that tag will give you the information on it as to if it needs to be planted in sun or in shade, because really that does matter. Now, you get them planted and you're like, yes, I've got this and I've done it and it's going to be great all summer long. Well, it will, but it does take some work to keep your containers looking good all summer long. So you'd have to do a little bit of maintenance to them, right? It's not a plant it and forget it type of situation. Plants do need a little bit of care. So planting it is just the beginning. To keep containers looking beautiful all season long, you need to make sure that you are watering consistently, especially in the heat of the summer or when it's really sunny out. So it may not even be a hot day, but if it's a sunny day, that can also lead to drying out the plants. If it's a windy day, that's another day to check your plants, because when there's a lot of wind, that dries out a plant as well. You want to make sure that you're fertilizing regularly. So as we mentioned, putting in the granular fertilizer when you're planting up those containers or baskets, and then feeding them about every once a week with that water-soluble fertilizer. Also, too, you may need to trim them or deadhead them when needed. So sometimes you'll see that your flowers bloom and then they have spent blooms. And sometimes you just need to go through and trim them up a little bit, get rid of some of those spent blooms. And what that will do is it will encourage more branching, which in turn is more growth, which leads to more flowers. And if you have any tired growth, or if your plants are starting to get long and leggy and stringy looking, just give them a good trim. And usually what I recommend is to visualize here, an hanging basket, trim your foliage to the bottom of the hanging basket, give it a good dose of fertilizer, because that's what that plant needs. A lot of times when they get stringy, it's because they don't have enough fertilizer. So don't be skimpy on the fertilizer. It is a very important part. And a lot of times around the 4th of July as well is when you do need to kind of go in and maybe give your plants just a little haircut. If they're looking great, don't touch them. But if you feel like, I just feel like my plants need a little something, that little something usually is they need a haircut. So don't be afraid to do it. They're going to reward you with more flowers in the end if you do give them that haircut. Another thing too is you have the investment of your containers or even your hanging baskets. So don't be afraid to use them in all seasons. So for myself, I like to plant up, my annuals for summertime. And then once fall comes, I'll often switch them out with kind of a fall look. And then in the winter, when everything is not growing anymore here in Michigan, I'll rip out all my plants and I'll plant them up for winter using cut evergreens. So don't be afraid to use your containers for multiple seasons. You've got the investment in the pot. Go ahead and enjoy it year round. Now, when you're creating your container combinations, I'm sure maybe some of you at least have heard of the thriller, filler, and spiller concept. Thrillers, those are something that's usually a taller plant in your container or something bold. A filler is a plant that's more mounding and fills in kind of just that top of the pot. And then you have your spillers, which are plants that trail over the front. That combination, if you use the thriller, filler, and spiller, that's going to give you a professional look every time. And people are going to go, wow, who created your containers? And you're going to say, well, I did, of course, right? I know how to design. And that is it. The thriller, filler, spiller is kind of the secret to designing beautiful combinations. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few examples of container combinations. I went through and picked out 5 different varieties of plants that I know mix well together, play well together, and have similar sun requirements. A lot of them are for sun, but I do have some shade ones as well. So for those of you who are gardening in specifically just shade, I have included you as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at these combinations. So the first combination we're going to look at is called Saffron Sunrise. The plants that are in the Saffron Sunrise combination are Superbell's Tropical Sunrise, a beautiful orangey yellowish small blooming million bell flower. There's also the Safari Dusk James Britannia, which adds a nice splash of purple. And then you pair it with a Supertunia Saffron Finch, which is that bright, really rich yellow, really makes a striking combination. So you've got your fillers, you've got your spillers, which is great, especially if you're planting it in a hanging basket. But let's up the game a little bit. Let's add a thriller. Add in the Emerald Isle, Alocasia, or Elephant Ear, and that just took your container to next level. These gorgeous, bright green, leafy, tropical-looking plants are just, they take that container to next level look. So there is one that you could give a try. The next one is fruit salad. We have sold this combination for years here at Garden Crossings. It's a bright, bold, beautiful mix of flowers. It's got the Superbell's Great Punch, which is one of my personal favorites. It has Superbena Royal Ice Cherry, along with the Superbell's Lemon Slice. Superbell's Lemon Slice is such a unique, different looking Calibrachoa or Superbell's. When it was first introduced, which has been quite a few years now, it really got a lot of attention. So a beautiful look of just bright, tropical looking flowers. Add in the Graceful Grasses Prince Tut as your thriller and take it from wow to wow, wow, wow. I love the Prince Tut grass. It usually will get about 18, maybe 24 inches tall, depending on how big a container you're planting it into. But it's a nice size and a nice habit grass. It really has pretty like tufts on the top of it. So I think it's really a great thriller to add in to your annual planters. Next on the list is the Sunglasses combination. Sunglasses combination has the Supertunia Mini Vista Hot Pink, which is bright, bold. Mix it in with Supertunia Lovey Dovey, which is a white and pink striped flower, and Superbell's Yellow just adds in that really great color combination. You got the pink, the white, and the yellow. I think those colors mix really well together. And again, if you want to take this to next level, add in the Toucan Yellow Canna for just amazing. I keep saying amazing. Anytime you add those thrillers in, it takes it next level and just adds an amazing look. We use the Toucan Yellow also in our landscapes up front. We basically I have our Supertunia Vista Jazzberry, our Macedonia Gold Dust, and then these Toucan Yellow cannas. So even though it's a ground planting, you can do kind of that same look in containers as well. And any of these combinations I'm talking about for containers or hanging baskets, you can absolutely replicate these in the ground. Now, one thing I will say is super bells aren't typically recommended for planting in the ground, so you may want to swap out a super bell with a Supertunia, but you can create these looks by planting these in the ground as well. Lilacs Festival is a beautiful blend of Superbenia Violet Ice, which is a top-selling Superbenia here. Also, the Supertunia Royal Velvet. Royal Velvet is just that rich, gorgeous purple color and a very popular Supertunia. Mix that in with a Supertunia Blue Vein, which is white with just very faint blue veining on it for just a nice, soft, kind of purpley white color palette. Mix in a little bit of the Verbena Meteor Showers, which is going to act as your thriller, and watch those butterflies come and visit your garden. Meteor Showers is a great plant, especially if you're looking to attract the butterflies to the garden. And for those of you with shade, I did not leave you out. So we would go and recommend, and this is a container combination we use in our baskets frequently, and actually too, we've done it on our in our 15-inch planters too. So we take any of the Rocapoco Impatiens. This one shows a pink one, but you can use any of the Rocapoco Impatiens. Pick the color that works for you. Is it purple? Is it pink? Is it red? Is it white? Is it lilac? A lot of variety there. And then mix it in with a little bit of Diamond Frost, which is a really fun, light, wispy, white flowering plant that just kind of fills in around the edges. Diamond Frost is great even in the garden to fill in around the edges. But with the Rocapoco Impatient and the Diamond Frost, it's a nice, soft look for shade gardens. And if you want to take that to the next step and add that thriller in, we would recommend the Graceful Grasses Baby Tut. Baby Tut, like Prince Tut, has a beautiful flowering, not really flowering, but a beautiful foliage canopy on it. They look like kind of like little umbrellas. So it adds a lot of neat texture in to that shade combination. If you found this video helpful, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more gardening tips from our greenhouse to your door. If you're local, we have our retail garden center here in Zeeland, Michigan. We'll be opening in April, where you can come in and walk around and see all these beautiful plants for yourself. Or if you are online, you can shop our website and see everything we have to offer. If you are local, we'd love to have you stop out to our open house in April, where you can come in, plant up your container combinations, and then we'll grow them and hold them for you until Mother's Day. So even though it might still be a little cold outside to actually be digging in the dirt, you can come into our garden center, get your hands dirty, play with the plants, create your combination, but not have to worry about having a mess at home, not having to worry about keeping those plants looking good until it's warm enough to put them outside. We're going to do that. We're going to grow them for you, and we are going to care for them for you. And when you come back to pick them up around Mother's Day, you are going to be wowed with your containers that you've created. Happy planting, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.